Hey everybody, happy Friday. It is Friday the 17th of April. Super excited to be with you today. Lots and lots and lots to share. This is the live stream I've been waiting for. Excuse me. So I'm going to update you on three things. First of all, for those of you who are waiting on Dream for All, give you kind of a status update on that. Secondly, what's going on in the market with interest rates and housing prices and what I'm seeing in the market. And then third, the big one, I'm going to give you a high-level overview of all of the amazing things that I now have access to with my new company, CrossCountry Mortgage. So really, really excited. A lot that I'm going to cover at a very, very shallow level. So let's go ahead and start diving in. First of all, Dream for All, we are still waiting for the results. We expect the results sometime early in May. So right now, just make sure that you're connecting with your loan officer. Excuse me, hopefully that's me, just to talk to you about where you're at, make sure that you're prepared. And then as soon as we find out, I'm going to have webinars. I'm going to set up webinars for all three outcomes. So if you are selected, there'll be a few webinars to choose from. If you are on the wait list, you'll be a few webinars to choose from. And if you are not selected, there'll be a few webinars to choose from where I am going to help guide you on what your next steps should be. And then we'll set one-on-one appointments after that. All right, now the market, what is going on? It is all about Iran. It's all about what's happening with oil prices. At the end of this week, we got Trump early this week, Trump put in a blockade. As of yesterday, I think Iran said they're removing their blockade. Oil prices came down this morning. That is all good news for interest rates. So we're seeing interest rates come down some. We're down about 0.1% this year, this week. That's really good news. Just be careful because the rates you saw yesterday, every Thursday, rates are published by the news media, but it's based on where rates were on Friday and Monday. So you would have seen yesterday published that rates are up. The truth is rates are down right now. So the information is delayed. Be careful what you're counting on. The housing market right now, we're seeing a lot of activity. I'm seeing a lot of multiple offer situations, but I think part of that has to do with fewer homes on the market. A lot of sellers that are holding back that aren't putting their house on the market yet because they've been worried about where the market is at. So I wouldn't say that it's shifting back into a seller's market, but I think we are seeing more buyers wanting to come back into the market. And it really is going to be an interesting spring to figure out where we go from here. But the reality is, if you can figure out a way to make the numbers work based upon where interest rates are right now, then do it. Because the opportunity down the road is you're going to run into way more competition once interest rates drop further. The question is, when are they going to drop further? Nobody knows the answer to that question. Excuse me. All right, let's fix that. So now that's what's going on in the market. Now I want to talk really, really high level about what is going on with programs and what I have access to here at CrossCountry Mortgage. So if you missed the announcement a month ago, really, Summit Funding it has merged with CrossCountry Mortgage. So I've been with Summit Funding now, it'll be 15 years next month. But I'm no longer with Summit. So we merged with CrossCountry Mortgage. Summit was the 25th to 30th largest mortgage company in the nation. CrossCountry is number one in retail originations, meaning the number of loan officers that work for the company. No other mortgage company has more loan officers that close more loans in total than CrossCountry Mortgage. And I'm just starting to understand the depth of why. And so I'm going to go through this chart really quickly with you here. There's a lot here, but I want just for you to understand what is available. So this first section right here, standard programs, that is your normal FHA conventional. Everybody does them. We do a really good job with them, but there's nothing extra special. Down here, what we've got is some really special programs. So I love this Buy by MI. Basically, it says if you are thinking of putting 20% down because you think I don't want to pay mortgage insurance, and so I don't want to, I don't want to put any less out of pocket. My Buy by MI program says you get no mortgage insurance. We pay for the mortgage insurance. If you're putting 15% down, you just have to have strong credit and a good debt to income ratio. You could put 15% down and have no mortgage insurance and get the same interest rate you were going to get at 20% down. It's an amazing program. Lots of ways to do what's called an LLPA waiver. All that really means is creative ways to get rid of what the government is charging an extra tax. For example, we've got programs where if you add a Nest thermostat to your home, then there's a good chance we can get rid of the extra risk factors. I have a client I'm talking to right now who's refinancing her home. Credit scores in the mid 600s, like 650. With that low of a credit score, a conventional loan would probably be around 7.25% interest rate, because conventional's very, very particular about your credit score. But with this program, she's going to buy a Nest thermostat, get it installed in her home, and she's going to get a 5.99 interest rate. Crazy how we can do things like that. I've got programs that can allow you to count rental income from an ADU. Many lenders don't. What else jumps off here? We've got some special programs. HUD does the $100 down and Good Neighbor Next Door programs. So we participate in all of those programs. But there's some really, really cool ones here. We do a lot of these, and I've done a lot of these at a lot of other companies, at Summit Funding, and a lot of other companies do them. But this one right here is huge. The asset qualifier. The asset qualifier says, as long as you have at least 125% of the purchase price in assets, or the loan amount, I believe, or the loan amount in assets, then you qualify. Think about that. That's something that is common sense that most people have told me before. John, I literally have $1 million in my 401k. Who cares whether or not I have enough income each month to pay the payment on a $300,000 mortgage? Clearly, I've got great credit. I'll figure it out. Now I can do that. So that's some common sense type of stuff that we look at. Some really cool programs that are here. Again, I'm not going to go through all of these, many of these really in any detail, but we have some huge down payment assistance programs. So we've got some programs that can cover for lower income. We have a grant that will cover up to 2% of your purchase price. You pay 1%, we pay 2%, up to $5,250 for first-time home buyers. It's very low income. So it's a small box of people that will fit into that, and it cannot be combined with other assistance programs, but it's a great example of some of the things that we do. We do construction loans, every type of construction loan. So I can do a 5% down payment construction loan to buy land and finance the construction of your dream home using conventional lending interest rates. It's an absolutely amazing product. We have some amazing home equity loans and lines of credit. Like at Summit Funding, I had 2. At CrossCountry Mortgage, I have 12, and they are absolutely amazing. One of my home equity loans allows you to pull cash out of a rental property, and all I care about is your credit score and your rental income. As long as your rental income's enough to pay the payment on your current mortgage on the rental property and this home equity loan, you qualify automatically. I don't care about your other debt. I don't care about your IRS and how much you claim to the IRS. It's a very, very flexible program. I got a client right now I'm working with who's renovating his home. And we were looking at the current value of the home is $550,000. He wants to borrow about $150,000 to do renovations, and he owes about $300,000. So he would $330,000. So he needed to borrow 90% of the home value in order to get enough equity to do his renovation. But excuse me. But I showed him with this renovation HELOC that we can actually base the value of the home on what it's worth after the repairs are completed, even though I'm loaning him the money now. So we are in the process of moving forward with this client to renovate his home. He's already got the contractor's bids. We're doing a loan process in 30 days or so. He's going to get the money from us, and it's based upon what the value of the home is going to be worth afterwards. So he's getting a much better interest rate. We were originally looking at something around 8.25%. We're going to get him something in the high 6s. Screaming deal, because we have access to all of these new programs. Okay, there's a couple here that I'm really excited about, these exclusive lender programs. I've got a program that basically backs your offer with cash to make it more competitive to the seller. So if you're in a situation where competing against cash, I have a program that backs your offer with cash that says, hey, if we can't close within this amount of time, then CrossCountry buys the home in cash, and then we turn around and we sell it to you afterwards once you've gotten your timing figured out on whatever caused the delay. So that's an amazing program for people who have money for a down payment. You have to put at least 10% down for that program. I've got some programs where we can have the seller lock an interest rate, a discounted interest rate to help get their home sold fast. I've got programs where you can lock your interest rate while you're shopping for a home. I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. We've got a line of duty death benefit. It provides financial protection to families of first responders, anybody who is EMS, fire, or police. If you die in the line of duty, we will pay off your mortgage up to $525,000. That is free of charge that we provide. We've got an absolutely amazing bridge loan. So a bridge loan allows you to pull cash out of the house that you're selling and make no payments for 4 months while you're waiting for the house to sell. So that's a couple of options there. A few more things I want to go over. We have some niche products. We've got a doctor program specifically for people who are doctors or are in medical school. We'll do fix and flip loans. We'll do lot loans, so I can finance vacant land now. I never used to be able to do that. I can do manufactured homes on land that you rent. I have done that before. We've done a lot of them. We'll do blanket loans now. So I can do a loan across multiple properties as one loan. So that's a really unique product we've never had access to before. And then a lot of people are I'm really excited to say about a lot of people who are trying to sell their current home to buy another home. I've got multiple programs that let me ignore the payment from the house that you are selling. All I need is to know that you have at least 20% equity in the house that you're selling. And I need to know that you're planning on listing it for sale in the next 90 days. How do I know that? You give me a copy of the listing agreement or a letter that says that you are going to be putting it on the market in the next 90 days. And I get to ignore the payments on the house that you're moving out of. And then the last one that we run into a lot, is the issue about cannabis income. People work in the cannabis industry and it's very hard to use that income. And it's been impossible to use the income for people who are owners of cannabis companies, cannabis related companies. I now have programs that can do that. So I have a lot of amazing programs now. And I know I cover a whole bunch of things really quickly, but my point is you're going to hear more and more about these things going forward. I'm going to, on a weekly basis, pick one of these programs and dive into more detail about who it applies to, why, and how it can help you to accomplish your home ownership goals, whether you're a first-time home buyer looking to purchase a home, whether you're moving up or down to a different home, or you're buying investment property. I'm here to help, and the number of solutions that I have for you just tripled compared to what I had before. So I really appreciate you trusting me. As always, I'm interviewing for the job of being your lender. So scan this QR code or type in the URL above and connect with me and my team. We will take great care of you, and I'm looking forward to talking to you guys very soon. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.